Carlton Palmer set Coventry on their way to victory after intense early Newcastle pressure. And after his first since arriving from Nottingham Forest, Paul Williams smashed in his first in 2.5 years. That's a goal worth waiting for. Now keep your eyes on Warren Barton and Youssef Chipo after the ball's played here. Newcastle's task was already huge, but after Barton's moment of indiscipline, Bobby Robson admitted the task became impossible. An instant red card from referee Alan Wiley. By half-time, it was 3-0, Robbie Keane's dummy, Hadji's return, and an error from Shay Given, giving the Republic of Ireland striker an absolute gift. Magnus Hedman in Coventry's goal had been simply outstanding, but the big Swede wasn't able to deny Newcastle as their 10 men fought with spirit in the second half. Didier Domi drilling in what was merely a consolation. In the dying moments, Mustafa Hadji brilliantly executed a dubious free kick, and Newcastle still haven't won a single league point on their travels.
How good was Paul Williams going?
Oh, that was something else. I think his performance alone playing against Newcastle and Alan Shearer, who's on fire, is 9 out of 10, and he scores that goal. As far as I'm concerned, it's 10 out of 10. It's one of his best performances ever.
We've lost the game through, obviously, a dismissal. That's got nothing to do with the referee. That's down to Warren Barton. The referee was quite correct. I support the referee in that situation. And obviously, the organisation going a little bit astray in crucial moments of the match. And we have to put that right. We have to work on it. We have to talk about it, and we have to insist that the players listen and learn and do it.
George Graham was pleased enough with the commitment from his players. After surviving an early scare when an unmarked Mikkel Beck headed wide, Spurs, and in particular David Ginola, began to impose a pattern. In the 36th minute, a superb run down the left and a textbook cross left Chris Armstrong a simple header home. It was Ginola's skills that were the big difference between the sides, in fact. It was mesmerising stuff, which continued into the second half. And this from a player many were confidently predicting this time last year would not be part of George Graham's plans.
He's completely different. It's a big change in the club now. Obviously, policy difference in the club. The way we play, I think we are stronger, even if we are not playing the best football. I think we can do better.
I thought we dug in a little bit better today, but we've got to be more mean and even to a certain point more nasty away from home. I would have been pleased with the top 6 this year, so that's still our target, and if we can get everybody back, there's no reason why we can't be there or thereabouts.
John Hartson got off to a slow start at Wimbledon, but this goal means he's now scored 8 times in 20 league appearances. He thought he doubled his side's lead soon after, but a shove on David Weatherall meant no goal was given after his neat chip beat Gary Walsh, the Bradford goalkeeper. Hartson wasn't to be denied, though. City's marking was non-existent as the big Welshman nodded in a cross from Kenny Cunningham. Just before half-time, Bradford brought themselves back into contention. Lee Mills got behind Cunningham to thump in Gunnar Haller's centre for his first Premiership goal. A strong run from Hartson led to Wimbledon taking a 3-1 lead. Carl Court scored, and Egil Olsen's team were on their way to their first home league win since January the 9th. Bradford have made a habit of scoring late goals in the Premiership this season. Dean Windasser's effort was their 4th, but the first not to earn them at least 1 point.
People are talking about today's match as a 6-pointer. Well, you know, it was a big game for us. There's no two ways about that. Wimbledon are down there with us. But, you know, we've just got to keep... We're not playing well, as simple as that. We're going through one of those patches where... But the only good thing about it today, at least we scored 2 goals, and hopefully we can take that into the next game, which will be Leicester.
All right, West Ham's 4-0 win over Borough on the final day of last season guaranteed them a place in Europe. On Sunday, Middlesbrough sought their revenge when the Hammers came knocking at the Riverside Stadium. We've got the action. Before the game, players coming onto the field. Juninho coming out, and the Middlesbrough fans applauding there at Riverside. The kickoff, and the legendary Jack Charlton in attendance, the World Cup winner for England in 1966. Juninho dribbling and passing through to Hamilton Rickard here. Rickard shoots just wide. Then later, Frank Lampard will pass to Paolo Di Canio, who falls over Gary Pallister in the penalty box. What do we have? We got nothing. No penalty called, except on Di Canio. He gets a yellow for diving. Check it out again. It looks like Pallister caught him and tripped him, but Di Canio paid the price. Now, Hamilton Rickard breaking free. He'll shoot. Shaka Hislop meets him, and uh-oh, outside the penalty box. That's a no-no. You can't do that. He used his hands. Could have used his head, but Hislop is sent off. As you can see him coming out to try and put a stop to that attempt. But again, that's against the rules. West Ham down to 10 men for most of the game. Middlesbrough taking advantage. Colin Cooper to Paul Ince. He shoots. Craig Forrest tips it into the crossbar. Nice play there, but Brian Dean on the rebound, and Forrest could not stop that one. Dean hit the website, and Middlesbrough got on the board. Now the 89th minute. Curtis Fleming crosses. Alan Armstrong will finish, and that made it 2-0. Managers Brian Robson and Harry Redknapp agreeing that referee Uriah Rennie pretty much stinks. But that was...
Sunderland hosting Aston Villa from the Stadium of Light. Great crowd on hand. Sunderland coming into this round. We're in third place. Over the weekend, they dropped to fourth, looking to go right back and leapfrog Arsenal into third place. Peter Reid looking on. Some coaches like to do the cigarettes. Not John Gregory. He'll settle for an old lollipop. Early on, first half, Darius Vassell filling in for Julian Joachim. That one gets poked away from him. Thomas Sorensen went down well to deny it. Then Niall Quinn, the huge target off the cross from Stefan Schwartz, the Swedish international. Moving on to the second half. Some 65 seconds in here. Dion Dublin loses his marker. 1-0 for the visitors from Birmingham. 73 seconds was the exact time the goal was scored in the second half. Not a way to start it. Aston Villa looking pretty good. Then a little later, Niall Quinn brings it down. Handball asked for. Handball given. Penalty kick. Mark Delaney cannot believe it. David Ellery, no hesitation. But if you look at the replay, Mark Delaney has no idea this ball is coming up. It just whacks him on the arm. Niall Quinn protests. The protest is given. David Ellery steps aside. Kevin Phillips steps in. And the equalizer comes. Sunderland at home, refusing to lose. This team just doesn't lose at the Stadium of Delight. Moving on. Crossed in. Kevin Phillips again. Alan Shearer, who? Kevin Phillips, the man of the hour in England. Another great cross by Stefan Schwartz. And look at the air. He is your leading goal scorer in the EPL. Sunderland comes back. They're in third place, defeating Aston Villa 2-1.
I think it's an absolutely appalling decision. And the referee has to be 100% certain that it's a penalty in those situations. If there's any doubt in his mind, he must just play on with it. I mean, you've seen it all yourself. I mean, I think that's the first shot Sunderland have had a goal tonight. The penalty. We've had people out there that have worked unbelievably hard throughout the whole game, and they've really worked well. We've defended well. I mean, our game plan has just been thrown out the window by one outrageous decision. And, of course, Mr. Elliott will get in his car after the game and drive off home, and nothing will be said.
So with that victory...